What if the person standing before you wears not just a mask of indifference, but a chilling absence of empathy? Could that be the mark of true evil? In a world where our every encounter challenges our moral resolve, recognizing genuine malevolence is more than intuition. It's a necessary skill for protecting our inner peace. Today we plunge into the shadows of human character with our provocative topic: 5 signs you're facing a truly evil person. This isn't about fleeting moments of anger or casual rudeness. It's about detecting the unmistakable traits of a soul devoid of compassion, reason, and virtue. The ancient Stoics taught that our most significant battles are fought within, not on external battlefields. Figures like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca remind us that while we may not control the actions of others, we can and must fortify our inner citadel against corruption. Prepare yourself as we uncover the 5 red flags that signal you're in the presence of true evil, a presence so cold and calculated that it threatens the very fabric of our shared humanity. What you're about to discover might just transform the way you view your world and empower you to protect your inner self with unyielding resolve. Sign 1. The absence of empathy. The first sign is a stark absence of empathy, void where compassion and understanding should reside. When you face a person who shows no genuine concern for the suffering of others, you witness a quality diametrically opposed to the Stoic ideal of cosmopolitan brotherhood. In the teachings of Epictetus, we are reminded that the essence of humanity is intertwined with the capacity to empathize. A truly evil person dismisses pain, viewing it as a mere inconvenience or worse, a tool to manipulate others. They remain indifferent to the cries of the weak and vulnerable, and instead, they may even derive pleasure from their misfortune. Imagine a figure who walks among us with a cold, calculated demeanor, a person who sees the distress of others as an opportunity to assert power, or simply to indulge in their own narcissistic pleasure. This lack of empathy is not a momentary lapse, it is a deep-seated condition. Such individuals are like barren landscapes where no seeds of kindness can sprout. The Stoics remind us, however, that while we cannot control the behavior of others, we can govern our reactions. Recognizing this absence allows us to safeguard our inner citadel, ensuring that our character remains unassailable despite external corruption. Sign 2. Habitual deceit and manipulation. Closely linked to the absence of empathy is the propensity for habitual deceit and manipulation. A truly evil person often employs dishonesty as a means to an end, a tool to bend situations and people to their will. They weave a web of lies so intricately that truth becomes a casualty of their ambition. Consider the subtle art of manipulation. It is not always loud or overt. More often, it is cloaked in charm and delivered with the polished veneer of credibility. Yet beneath this facade lies a relentless drive to exploit vulnerabilities, to use information as currency in the marketplace of power. Stoic philosophy teaches us that truth and virtue are inseparable. Seneca warned that no man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity. Yet he also urged us to be wary of those who twist adversity for their own gain. When someone habitually distorts reality, when their words serve only to create confusion and feed their selfish desires, they undermine the fabric of trust that holds society together. In their presence, every compliment may hide a venomous intent, every act of apparent kindness may be calculated. This manipulation is a corrosive force, eroding genuine human connection and leaving behind a trail of broken relationships. Sign 3. A ruthless pursuit of power. The third sign emerges as a relentless, ruthless pursuit of power at any cost. An individual fixated on control, who sacrifices ethical integrity for the allure of dominance, embodies a spirit antithetical to Stoic calm. For the Stoics, true power is derived from self-mastery and inner virtue, not from the subjugation of others. Yet when a person is willing to trample on the rights and dignity of fellow human beings in the blind chase for authority, we witness a corruption of the soul. Their ambition is untempered by reason or empathy. They view people as mere. Sign 4. The exploitation of vulnerability with calculated cruelty. The fourth sign reveals itself when you witness a person who preys upon the weaknesses and insecurities of others. This is not mere opportunism. It is a calculated, cold exploitation of vulnerability. A truly evil individual finds perverse delight in identifying those fragile spots in the human spirit and uses them as instruments of control. They derive power by turning another's pain into their own gain, stripping away hope and replacing it with a sense of dread and worthlessness. Consider how a manipulator might subtly instill self-doubt into those around them. Instead of offering support, they sow discord by amplifying each flaw, every misstep, until their victims become prisoners of their own insecurities. In stark contrast to the Stoic ideal of inner resilience, such individuals erode the natural dignity that comes from living in harmony with reason. As Epictetus taught, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Yet these wrongdoers twist opinions to serve their malignant purpose, ensuring that every glimmer of self-confidence is smothered under layers of destructive criticism. This exploitation is methodical, a relentless campaign against the soul. It is as if they see life as a chessboard, where every emotional fissure in another person is a move towards inevitable domination. In their world, empathy is a weakness, and genuine connection is sacrificed at the altar of power. They become a parasite on the vulnerabilities of others, leaving behind a trail of diminished spirits. And while you may not see immediate consequences, over time the subtle poison of self-doubt spreads, corroding the very essence of those they target. A Stoic, however, does not allow external forces to dictate the state of their inner being. When confronted with such cruelty, the wise remind themselves that the control of their mind is inviolable. They learn to recognize that any attempt to undermine their self-worth is merely an external opinion, one that holds no sway over their true character. As Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. Let this be a shield. By guarding your inner citadel, you ensure that no one can use your vulnerabilities against you. Sign 5. The void of accountability and moral reflection. Consider a person who never stops to ask, was that the right thing to do? Someone who lives as if consequences and conscience are mere inconveniences. A truly evil person is not tormented by guilt nor prompted to learn from mistakes. They exist in a perpetual state of moral blindness. They dismiss any notion of right or wrong with a cavalier shrug, as if ethics were optional accessories rather than the foundation of a flourishing life. When you meet someone who refuses to reflect on their actions, who never questions how their behavior affects others, know that you are witnessing a profound void, a barren soul where the seeds of virtue have never taken root. This isn't stubbornness or ignorance. It is a deliberate, cold neglect of self-examination. Their lack of accountability means they can commit injustices without pause, unburdened by remorse, and continue down a path that corrodes both their own character and the well-being of those around them. The Stoics remind us that true wisdom comes from examining our own actions, learning from our missteps, and continuously striving to align our conduct with nature's law. Without that internal mirror, one remains locked in a cycle of destructive habits and unchecked desires, a dangerous state that not only undermines personal growth, but also sows chaos in the broader community. In the face of a chaotic world and the ever-looming shadows of malevolence, remember that your true power lies not in the deeds of others, but in the mastery of your own soul. As the Stoics remind us, every trial is a forge in which your inner citadel is strengthened, every hardship a chance to illuminate the path of virtue with the fire of resilience. Stand tall, like Marcus Aurelius on the ramparts of Rome, steadfast, even as storms rage beyond your walls. Embrace each challenge as an opportunity to test your mettle, to refine your character, and to assert the indomitable strength of your will. Let the echoes of ancient wisdom resonate within you, transforming adversity into the very fuel that propels you forward. Now go forth with unyielding resolve. Harness your inner power, remain true to your highest ideals, and let no external force shake the foundation of your being. In the grand theater of life, you are both the actor and the director. Wield your freedom, and let your virtuous light shine so brightly that it dispels the darkness for all who cross. For in the end, it is not the actions of the wicked that define our destiny, but our unwavering commitment to live a life of reason, courage, and justice. Forge ahead, unbreakable and triumphant, as you inscribe your legacy in the annals of time. So, until next time, act wisely and act stoic.